All right. I'm in the way of this thing. All right, this is Cybersecurity 101. If you can hear me, let me know. I said I'd go live for Hillman Talk. So yeah, if you can hear me, give me some thumbs up. Ask some questions. I'm basically here for y'all. Honestly, almost overslept, so that's a little bit my fault. But yeah. If you're new, you don't know who I am. So I'm one of the I guess people that's joining with this whole Hillman Talk University thing. So I said I teach cybersecurity 101, which is like an intro to what you would like to learn about cybersecurity. I've been in the field for the past. I want to say, ever since I was 20 years old. So hi, Luke Bessett. Hi. If you can hear me, let me know. I think one time I joined and like my audio was off or something like that. And I didn't know how to fix it because I don't know how TikTok works. But yeah, I'm here for your questions. Anything you want to know, I'm going to try to answer. So yeah, I've been in the cybersecurity field for the past, ever since I was 20, so it makes it 9 years now. Started off as an intern, graduated, then I went to become a cyber architect, which was really just a whole bunch of Nexus scanning and RMF type of work, working with different analysts and things of that nature. After I became an analyst, I joined the red team like several months afterwards. And yeah, the rest is history from there. I just started hacking. I love it. So this live is meant to cover like any questions that someone may have about cybersecurity, right? So if you want to ask about what major you should go in, anything about resume tips, how to network a little bit better, right? How to find a job, how to go about negotiations, or if you want to specify and start asking some technical questions, these next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about Linux. We're going to be talking about virtualization software like VMware and VirtualBox. So that way we can download some operating systems and start working on them. We're going to be talking about creating networks, creating projects. So that way you guys can put resumes or put some projects on your resume if you don't have any experience, right? We're going to be talking about a lot. So hopefully you guys find something useful from this. This is Cybersecurity 101, but I do need you guys to ask me questions if you can, right? It kind of helps me give you some guided feedback, I guess you can say. Let's see. Got a couple of people joining, I think. I think that's how that works. Got a couple people joining, I can see. Celine, Cal, welcome in. Man, I look tired. I promise I just woke up too. But I know I said I was gonna do this live, so didn't want to disappoint anybody. All right, so I can start talking about cybersecurity 101 without, let me see. It's going on live, a video is posting because I'm in a web development course. Is it going to go on live or videos posting because I'm in a web development course? So are you talking about this specific live session? So this live session, I'm going to be posting. I probably can't post it on TikTok because I said I'd be here for an hour. So I'll probably post this live session on YouTube after it's done, assuming that enough people join and ask enough questions, right? But as far as the course itself, Cybersecurity 101, I'm delivering this in two separate formats. So the first format you're going to see this course at is going to be on this TikTok platform for as long as this platform exists, right? So I got my first two lectures up already, along with a syllabus video as well. And the way that it's probably going to work is I'm going to be posting on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Now, on Mondays and Wednesdays, it's going to be more of like a lecture type. Swipe right to filter your comments. I don't need to do that, right? On Mondays and Wednesdays, it's going to be more of a lecture type style. And then on Fridays, it's going to be either another lecture or it's going to be me sending or doing like another live, right? So all of the lectures are going to be posted on YouTube as well. Created a playlist for YouTube for those lectures to go on. But also on YouTube, it's going to be supplementary videos as well. When can she start? You can start now. So like I said, I posted the first two lectures already here on TikTok, and all the lectures that I'm posting here on TikTok, I'm posting on my YouTube channel, right? So you can definitely go and get the link in the bio for the YouTube channel. It's JByteBank, all one word. So the YouTube channel is going to have the lectures here on TikTok, but it's also going to have supplementary videos as well, right? So the things that's a little bit harder for me to post on TikTok, like when I'm trying to show y'all about virtualization software, I want to show you how to download those tools, how to set up your own home labs, how to start like configuring with certain applications that you might see in the cybersecurity space. I heard some people say they want to be system administrators, network engineers, and things of that nature. I want to show you how, like, some of the basics, really. So that's what the YouTube channel is going to be for. It's going to be for that longer form of content that's a little bit harder to post here on TikTok. All right, you said JBJ. No, for the YouTube, it's JAYBYTEBANK. So it's the same name that I have here, JByteBank. But if you're looking for it, then you can go to the link in the bio, and I have that in there as well. So I got the Bug Bounty Bootcamp book, value 1. Thought I might be a difficult read, but it's not. No, it is not at all. I actually really like that book. Or do I have the value 1 or the value 2? I think they got two different versions of it. But the Bug Bounty book, really good book. Really good book. If you pair that together with Portswigger, Portswigger has a whole bunch of different modules for web applications as well. If you pair those two things together, I'd say, oh my God, you learn like a ton of information. I'm still going through the Bug Bounty book now. I love its sections on OAuth, trying to interrupt OAuth type of exploitations. I love its section on race conditions, taught me something pretty new. You learn a little bit more about Java Web Tokens as well. They got some pretty good books available for those who are actually interested in bug bounty or just web application pen testing in general. API hacking as well is another good book. Yeah, they got some pretty good books when it comes to like the ethical hacking space. And if you go through them and you try them, oh man, like it really does set you apart, especially when you're applying for jobs in the cybersecurity space as well. I think I've had a lot of people ask me, hey, I want to be a hacker. How do I get started hacking with like no experience, especially for those who are like in college or something like that? And I always tell them that being a hacker is cool because you don't need a job to get the experience that the jobs are posting for may see, right? So like if you spend a year doing bug bounties, that's a year of you actually using tools and tool sets that a hacker would use, a penetration tester would use, or something of that nature. So you can throw that on your resume, especially if you found CVEs or any type of bugs or any type of bounties that you got rewarded for, whether it be the public or the non-public, because I know you got paid groups and non-paid groups. The non-paid is usually like government where you get recognition instead, right? So, but yeah, the bug bounty book is really cool, really cool. And again, feel free to answer or ask more questions. And yeah, I'm really just here for y'all. I can dive into a little bit about my background, a little bit about what I do for work, actually. Oh, crap. Sorry, I just got a ping from work, actually. So I'll handle that later. All right, let's see. So what I do for work, just to give y'all some more context about me, waiting for some more questions to come in, feel free to ask. But what I do for work is essentially, I always say hacker when I'm talking to people who may not be aware of the cybersecurity field. But I work as a penetration tester. And as a penetration tester, essentially what I'm doing is I'm testing a lot of different types of applications. I test web applications, I test APIs, I test Lambdas, I test against the network. I want to get to the point where I can start testing against some mobile applications as well. I think that would be cool, both Android and iOS. iOS is like historically harder to test against, but still getting that knowledge I think would be cool. You got different domains within like the hacking space that all people are good at. So I want to get better at testing in those. I'm learning more about testing AI type of applications as well, which has been super interesting, especially since AI is pretty much the future. Like you can't go a day without hearing something about cybersecurity or AI or data analytics or something similar to that, right? The cloud, you got certain buzzwords that are just there. So that's basically what I do for a living. I test these applications. So it's hacking, right? I'm looking for vulnerabilities. I'm trying to exploit vulnerabilities. And then once I find them and exploit them, I create reports about them and communicate that with the customer, essentially. And that's basically the day job. I've been doing it at this particular company that I'm with, I've been doing it for the past year. I'll hit 2 years later on this year. But I've been in the space for a while now. So I just kind of switched jobs. Kind of like a little job hopper, I guess you can say about me. But yeah, waiting for more questions for all of those who are here. Please feel free to ask me anything that you would like. And yeah, we can get it started like that. And I'm just looking to see if there are any comments or anything that I can answer. Man, I should have wore my glasses. It is harder to see the screen than I thought it would be. I know I said I'd be on here for about an hour, so I want to give people it looks like I got people kind of like from all over the world tuning in, which is really cool, actually. I've never communicated with a lot of people in this type of way. So I wanted to give people like a smooth hour to log in and see if there are any questions to be had. So I can give a little bit, this first live, right? I wanted it to be a live Q&A. The next lives, I'm going to be doing this course for the next 8 weeks. I think I said I'm doing an 8-week course, 8-week cybersecurity course, and then I have a bonus week as well. That bonus week, I'm going to be specifying on the topics that I'm super familiar with like live demonstrations of hacking, right? There are some pretty cool websites that you can use to like target without breaking the law. Also, that's another thing. A lot of the things that I'm going to be teaching in this class, remember, this is cybersecurity 101. Part of cybersecurity is hacking, but I should say it's titled ethical hacking, right? Because once you learn how to use certain tool sets, you can't just go out into the world and start targeting companies because that's illegal. So a part of it is not only learning the tool set, but also learning the necessary knowledge that won't land you in jail or prison. So when we talk about things like Nmap scanners and Nessus scanners and mass scan scanners and things of that nature, Like, it's super cool to start off with those, but also understand that you can't just point those anywhere and just get to firing. There are consequences for that. Maybe not immediately, but eventually for sure. Especially when it comes to like your internet provider, they might like block you or something like that. And could be legal consequences as well, honestly. So yeah. But this course is gonna go on for the next. I said it's gonna be an 8-week course, and then ninth week is gonna be a bonus week for all those who are super interested in hacking. I'll take you through some hack boxes, show you some techniques, some styles, talk about specific exploits that we might see a lot or the most common, right? So it's a 9-week course. Completely free. I'm not charging for anything. I know I've seen a couple of other Helm and Talk, and I'm not trying to diss anybody, but I've seen like a couple of other Helm and Talk courses, and sometimes I see that they're behind a paywall. I think that kind of defeats the purpose of what this Helm and Talk, the spirit of how Helm and Talk started, right? Just people coming together to share their knowledge and experience. I wanted to do that for free, so I'm personally doing that for free. This course isn't going to cost anything. I'm in the process of setting up some office hours. I need to go ahead and do that, figure out how the days that I want. I'm thinking office hours can be like Saturday and Wednesday, and I'll probably try to go from there. If you see me walking, it's because I am walking. You can see that my usual recording background. I'll go back to where the lighting is good, but I kind of want to grab my laptop real quick so I can also do some work while I'm doing this. All right, I know it's a little bit dark. Please don't hate me. All right, we're going to take this in a more lit section so that way you guys can actually see me while I'm doing this. And again, I'm here just yapping. So if you have any specified questions, please, please, please ask. That way I can help you out with what you need. I think you just type it out and you ask, and then I should be able to see. All right. I'm about to do a little setup real quick. All right, what do I need? I need a stand. I also need my glasses, to be honest with you, but I think I can go. When are the actual classes? Good question. So this first week was an introductory week. I created 2 lectures and I dropped the syllabus. The syllabus, you can kind of see what we're going to be talking about on a week-by-week basis for the next 8 to 9 weeks. The actual classes I'm going to be dropping are going to be on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday starting next week. So the first two lectures that came out, I go and I start there and I watch them. I give a brief definition of what cybersecurity is. Audio dropped? How did the audio drop? Can you hear me? I just tried to flip it back on and off. There you go. Okay, cool. So yeah, mic was covered. Duh, that made sense. I know I work in the cybersecurity space, but you would think that I'm technologically challenged, or at least app challenged, because man. But anyways, like I was saying, how can we be an instructor for cyber for Helm and TikTok? I just started creating content. Oh, let me answer this first question first. So yeah, so starting next week, we're going to start getting into more technical things, but lecture 1 and 2 are dropped. They're on TikTok and they're on YouTube. Go watch those, especially that second lecture. Just to give you that second lecture, I'm giving everybody who joins this course a chance to win a free voucher to pay for a certification. I'm only giving it away to one person because, I don't got money like that. So I can only afford one person, especially since there's a lot of people that are interested in this course. But I describe how to get the points needed, or how to compete for a chance to earn a voucher that I'm going to give away for free, right? So that second lecture covers the details on that. How can we be an instructor for cyber for Helm and TikTok? I'm a cybersecurity engineer and would love to teach. Oh, bet. I love that. All right, so I'm going to tell you what I did. Was it the right way? I'm not really sure. So I just started creating these content videos, right? I saw that people were putting on their knowledge skill set, so I just did the same thing. I'm not sure if I did it the right way though, or if they're aware of me, because I filled out their instructor form thing. I don't see my particular class on their long spreadsheet, but honestly, it's, from what I know, it's one person doing it. So I think I've seen people tag her under some of my videos, so that way she can be aware. But yeah, so I just started creating content and tagging Hillman Talk so that way people can be aware of what's going on my side of the house. But you should definitely do the same, especially as a cybersecurity engineer. And yeah, I think you would do really well. Your experience would be great. And let me know when you do so I can join your class too, because like we're trying to all learn from each other. What is it on YouTube? How much is the cert? So on YouTube, I'm posting two things. I'm posting all the TikToks that you see here on the TikTok platform in case this platform goes away. That's number one. The second thing I'm posting on YouTube is going to be in its own separate playlist as well. It's supplementary content. That content is going to go hand in hand with the class. The reason why I'm using YouTube is because TikTok only gives you so much time to like upload a video. You only get 10 minutes. Some of the things that I'm going to be talking about, it requires more time to talk about, especially when we're talking about like the technical side of house, right? So I think next week we might be talking about networking. So showing you guys how to download some virtualization tools if you haven't done that before, either VMware or VirtualBox, setting up a lab, setting up a Linux lab that has like Windows on it as well, creating those things together. If we're talking about networking, downloading tools like Packet Tracer, showing you the basics of that. All of that takes so much time, and it's harder to show that type of content here on TikTok. So that is what the YouTube channel is for. It's going to be for that. One, to upload TikTok videos in case this platform gets wiped away, but also two, to give you that supplementary knowledge so that way when the time comes and I say, hey, go watch this additional video for details, you have that. How much is the cert? So the certification that I'm going to be giving away is going to be up to a value of $600, right? So if anybody, by the end of this course, if somebody wants to say they want to study for this, the Security Plus, the Network Plus, or another cert that's within that $500 range, or no, $600 range, then that's what the free certification is going to be for. How you compete for that, again, is in lecture 2. The people have already started competing for it, so I'm actually excited about that. All right, let's see. We got another question. I'm in a different time zone, so what time will our classes start and on what days? Good question. 9 new messages as well. Oh, God. Nah, okay, great. I'm posting every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So the post that I make here on TikTok will be uploaded. Usually I upload around 8 a.m. Central Time, USA. All right, so Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you can expect those lectures to be dropped. You can watch them at any point whenever it's more convenient for you. I'm probably going to be uploading on YouTube with that same schedule. So do you use books for cybersecurity? There are a lot of books that I would recommend. I personally have my own set of books that I reference and use. Somebody mentioned the Bug Bounty book. I'm a hacker. I'm an ethical hacker in the space. So I use a couple of books. The Bug Bounty book is one of them. When it comes to specifying for different careers, like network administrator or something like that, I'm not as well versed in those, but I can always find the resources, or there are network engineers at my job that I know. So I can just always ask them as well if you're looking for anything specific. Okay, I'm gonna start soon back in school and about to go to work on my doctorate, so I'm trying to get my... Are you working on your doctorates? Oh yeah, you bad. That's nice. So I have a master's in cybersecurity, a bachelor's in computer science. As soon as you make your class, please let me know, especially since you're back in school and everything. I'd be curious to learn what you're talking about. Are you located in Atlanta? I'm located in, I'm located in cybersecurity. I'm located in Huntsville, Alabama. So I'm not too far off from Atlanta. Actually, I saw a TikTok creator saying that they were going to create like a Hillman Talk University party. I forget her name. She has like super ton of followers. She has dreads, looks very earthy, very fairy tale-ish. Cool content creator, but she said she was going to throw a party sometime soon for Hillman Talk. That I think that was based in Atlanta. I thought about sliding. I can't hold you. I thought about sliding. I'm guessing you're located in Atlanta. I'm going to say your name is Remington. Remington. Please don't get mad if I mispronounce that. Or Taylor. If so, that's dope because we're not too far apart, like 3.5 hours. What's the name of what? What is the class name on YouTube? Okay, got it. JayByteBank. J Byte Bank. It's the same name that I have in here in the profile. To get to that is on my the profile to get to that. How you get there, you can either go to YouTube and search, but the channel is kind of small, so I'm not sure if it'll pop up immediately. But you can also go to my my bio as well, and I have that link in my profile. Do you cover man in the middle attacks? So that's going to be one of the things that we talk about because, again, this is going to be a cybersecurity focused channel. I'm not going to give that like a lot of time or really like dive in on how to do something like that. But I do cover tools that can be used to like implement a man in the middle type of attack scenario. And with the home lab that you'll create, you'll be able to like do that on your own as well and start practicing on that. So, and I can also point you to resources that will show you a little bit more in depth on how to do that as well. Yeah, we definitely need to network. I just followed you. Oh yeah, bet. And I can follow back. Boom. Just like that. Yeah. All right. So I just followed back. No, I love networking with other people in the cybersecurity space. Like it's kind of funny because sometimes people could be like a little Okay, sorry. I was listening to my alarm system. Just got it. Subscribe. Nice. Welcome. I appreciate that. But yeah, I love networking with especially other people in the cybersecurity field. It's not that many of us. Like at all. I remember when I first started working in cybersecurity. When I first started working, period, I was always used to being the only black guy in the freaking room, which nothing wrong with. I'm just glad to like be there, have the opportunity, etc. But man, it's nice to see other people that I can actually relate with. All right. I'm struggling a little bit this morning. I can show you what I'm getting set up. Give me 1 second. People ask me about my setup all the time. Let's see. Yeah, if you're in Atlanta, you're definitely not too far off, so it'll be easy to connect. I know there are some conferences that I wanted to go to sometime this year as well. I think I saw like 1 or 2 in Atlanta that was interesting. All right, let's see. Just so you guys can see what I was setting up. Can I flip my camera real quick? I'm not sure if you guys are like familiar with like the whole Zebec setup thing, right? Or I can get like a monitor on the bottom, monitor at the top. I can even pull this thing out right here and like set up another different screen, right? I can take that, pop that off, and put that down there as well. I love it. It makes life easier. But yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and flip my camera back. I love these questions though. You guys have been really cool with these. I like that. All right. Cool. Cybersecurity 101. My head, man, I'm just blocking this thing. But I wanted to see if I could do some work while I'm doing this at the same time. So kind of wanted to multitask. So I'm going to yap. I'm just going to start yapping until, let's see. What do I want to do? All right. I wanted to talk a little bit more about what is the average income? Good question. So it depends on it depends on so much, actually. I want to make sure I'm not saying this wrong. So do you get paid salary? I do. And he just asked about the income. So let's talk about it, right? What you get paid in the cybersecurity field is going to depend on a lot of different factors. It's going to depend on, one, your specific profession, what you actually do, right? Are you an administrator? Are you a hacker? And if you're under hacking, are you red team? Are you pen testing? Are you bug bounty? Right? So it depends on your profession. It depends on your education level. Sometimes you might start out at a slightly higher salary if you have a master's over a bachelor's or PhD over a master's, right? So it depends on your education level and the relevancy of your education as well. It also depends on the location where you work. I've seen a lot of companies, one of the trends is to, if you're if it's a remote position, they're probably offering a little bit less versus if you were getting paid in New York or California or something like that, right? So location impacts that. Let me see how well you do in your interviews and how well you negotiate on your salary impacts that. There's a lot of different things that can impact in your years of experience and your certifications as well. All right, so I just gave you like a list of things that could impact salary. So when we say that average income, I don't want to say there's an average income for cybersecurity because cybersecurity is like an umbrella term, right? So what a penetration tester might make as an average versus what a system administrator might make as an average, those could be two different things, which is why I'm really trying to like specify in on it now. So since I've only worked on the offensive side of the house, I'm going to tell you what those averages look like. The others you can kind of do research on. For the most part, it's going to be, especially if you have years of experience, degrees, and everything like that, it's definitely going to be six figures. I think people call it low six figures, anywhere from between 100 to 130. But that's after you get a certain amount of experience. According to me, I know everybody's different, right? So here, let's see if I can hone in a little bit. My first job that I got straight out of college with a bachelor's degree, I was a cyber architect. I started off at $67,000 salary, and then that was in May. 7 months went by, and in December, I accepted an offer for $80,000, $80,000 to $85,000, right? Just 7 months after I started and gaining experience with certifications and things like that, right? So that was me starting off. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. I was working for a Fortune 500 company. Usually, I don't like naming the companies that I work at. I've seen people get fired over TikTok videos. I'm not trying to be on that type of time. Like, I ain't trying to interrupt the money. But I don't mind naming this company. It's well known. So I started off interning and working for Northrop Grumman. I like working for them because I got a security clearance with them. I've since stopped working for the government last year. But the average income, if you're starting off, is probably going to be around 60 to 85,000 if you're a beginner. That could differ based on area, experience, and things like that. But it's a good starting point. Do you get paid salary? I personally get paid salary, yes. Let's see. Great news. I subscribed to the YouTube and I was able to create the directory. I took notes. Nice. Welcome. The YouTube, I want to have a whole bunch of supplementary information on that as well. So it's good. It's good to be a part of that. Are you serious? I'm guessing. Oh wait, is WG worth it? So funny enough, since I've worked with government contracting, a lot of the people that I worked with, they're coming out of like militaries, they're vets and things of that nature, right? So a good portion of them don't actually have their, their any degrees. So what they'll do is they'll go on WGU. They'll have like years of experience, like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but they reach a wall. Like some of them want to climb into upper management, right? And sometimes, especially in the government contracting world, they want you to have degrees for certain roles. They just do. So I've seen a lot of people go on WGU, get their degree, and call it a day. They loved it. It's not like it's not respected in the industry, right? And everybody knows what it is. So it's an accredited program, and that's all that matters. But WGU, you can go at your own pace, right? So you can finish in 6 months, 7 months, or you can take the whole 4 years, whatever pace you want to do. And I think that's one of the cool things about it. I haven't personally attended WGU because, I've got my degrees from somewhere else, but I've seen tons of people, especially in the military, go through WGU and they ain't have any problems at all. Are you serious? Am I serious about the salary? I am about my salary. I'm not trying to lie. Northrop Grumman is where I got my first, it wasn't my first internship at, but it was my longest internship. I started working for them when I was a sophomore, got my security clearance as a sophomore. When I was 20 years old, I had a security clearance, right? I'm emphasizing that because that's like huge. And they're willing to start you off. But Northrop Grumman, they were really cool. I make more than that teaching golf, working 15 to 20 hours a week. Is freelancing better? I'm guessing you're saying you're making more than 67 to 85,000. See, I give you a range between 67,000 and $85,000, right? So, if you make more than that, then kudos. Really kudos. That's actually cool. Yeah. Is freelancing better? I've never freelanced in cybersecurity space. I had the opportunity to do bug bounties, and I'm working on that now. Depending on how good you are, you can bring in an extra $10,000 to $50,000 a year. You can bring in more than that. They're the top bug bounties. Oh my God. So yeah. My 4-year degree is unrelated. You'd be surprised how many people end up in the cybersecurity space coming from like an unrelated place, right? Like they got their degree in business, they worked in business, and now they're switching over to cyber. They got their degree in HR, they work in HR, and now they're switching over to cyber. Like there's definitely a lot of people who have unrelated stuff. No more than 130. Are you saying no more than 130, or are you saying no more than 130? Like you're making no more than 130, or you're saying that you make more than 130? Either way, to make more than 130 in the cybersecurity space, you're going to have to start doing a little bit of targeting. First of all, you got to have experience. You got to be good because you're going to go through interviews at top companies, to be honest with you. So you got to be good. You got to have experience. You got to have the pedigree or whatever. And you got to start targeting. I'm making more than 130. Okay, got it. So to go into the cybersecurity space and make more than that, like I said, you got to have all those things. But you also have to start targeting companies that you want to work for, because just because a company is in the cybersecurity space doesn't mean that they can afford that amount of a salary. So big tech is an example that you see a lot of people talking about, right? If you want to go work for Amazon, for Meta, for anything like NVIDIA is a bag. A lot of millionaires have been made at NVIDIA. But if you want to go to work for any of those companies, of course, they're big tech. Their salary ranges, especially if you're coming in with a good amount of experience, they go up. Their base salary probably stays around the same, like 150, 160, 170, But you also get paid in stock, and you also get bonuses as well. So total compensation can easily go up to 300,000, 400,000, 500,000. Those numbers are real. Those numbers are very real. If it's just regular companies, and again, it depends on the industry, right? Because retail is willing to pay you a good amount too. I know you can work for Walmart or Home Depot. They got cybersecurity departments, make up to $200,000, things of that nature. But being in cybersecurity is a grind, right? It's definitely a grind. So if you want to switch careers, then for you, I do the math on if it was worth it or not, because it takes a good amount of time to learn about it, honestly. I appreciate your heart, though. I'm going to hit you up. Maybe I can match your sponsorship for a cert. That would be super cool. I would appreciate that. And what he's talking about, I said in the beginning of this live, I'm giving away a free cert to one of the students in this class. I'm giving you an opportunity to win a cert up to $600. How you compete for that certification, that free voucher, I posted that in my second lecture. Watch that all the way through. I know it's 9 minutes, but I reveal how to get that within like at least the first 5 minutes, right? So if you're in the class and if you're learning from me, I want to give you an opportunity to get a certification at the end for free. How you do that, that's going to be in the second lecture video. But yeah, man, it sounds like you got a good little situation set up for yourself. Maybe cyber is something more of something that you're curious in. It takes a lot to get to a certain salary point. A lot of legwork, but sometimes once that legwork is put in, you're pretty good from there. Another position in cybersecurity that apparently makes a ton of money is freaking sales. It's not really my thing. You gotta talk to a lot of people. You gotta call a lot of people. But apparently, because some of the content creators that I see, and I can actually tell that they're working in the cybersecurity space based on what they're saying, right? Cyrus, Tech is the new black, etc. Like, sales is willing to pay you a good bit of money. You got to be a top performer, but it is what it is. When I say, where do I start and study? Most people tell me with networking fundamentals will we be going over that? Most people tell you that, and I'm gonna hop on that train. I'm gonna tell you the same thing. I believe in the fundamentals. We to answer that question, yes, we will be going over networking. It is 7:41 already. That is crazy. We will be going over networking. I think next week actually is going to be the week that we talk about networking. Funny enough, so make sure you catch those lectures. So yeah, next week is going to be the week that we're talking about networking. I'm going to be dropping lectures here, dropping lectures on TikTok. I post on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Make sure you catch that. But yeah, I believe in starting off with networking. I believe in starting off with your fundamentals, right? So if you could get like a set, like Thanos collecting badges, right? If you can get a good understanding of networking, a good understanding of maybe some Linux and some Windows command line interface, how to work around those. If you can get a good understanding of a little bit of cloud as well, if you can get those things, man, it'll set you apart, because there's going to be so many scenarios that happens no matter the profession, that's going to depend on you knowing those fundamentals, especially if you want to go be a network engineer or something like that. But I can give you an example. Let's say that I'm a hacker. If I'm trying to exploit a vulnerability that I find, and I notice that it's only working 1 out of 10 times, right? I could say that, oh, this is a busted vulnerability. It doesn't really work if I was a beginner. But with networking fundamentals, I could also come to the conclusion that, hey, maybe there's a load balancer somewhere in the middle that's pushing my traffic to different machines. So maybe one machine has an exploit that's working, but the others don't. And then I have a better understanding of how to forward and take advantage of that. I'm not sure if those words that I use make sense, because some of them are a little bit more terminology based, like load balancing and stuff like that. But no, fundamentals important, and we will be covering as much fundamentals as I can. I'm not going to dive too deep on every subject, because again, we only got 9 weeks, and every one of the subjects I'm talking about can be a course on its own. So I just want to get y'all set up for it. Going over that, I already answered that. I've been watching all of the Darknet Diaries now. I never knew about that YouTube. Hey, Darknet Diaries is the stuff. So usually in a lot of the interviews that I've had, they'll ask you about how do you keep up with your information in the cybersecurity space, right? They want to know who you're talking to. Are you legit? Who are you following? Just know. Right? And Darknet Diaries is on my list for sure. There's so many crazy stories. The story that I said about the US government collaborating with a foreign country and spying on citizens, like that country was spying on our citizens and our country was spying on their citizens in order to get through some type of legal loophole. What? Using artificial intelligence, because at some point they were collecting so much data on citizens that no individual person could collectively go through that on time. So they had to use artificial intelligence to go through those. Man, that stuff is crazy. So yeah, you find some interesting thing, and it's all offensive security related. It's all cybersecurity space related. So, and the host does a really good job of telling the stories too. I have some basics, Linux and Python, good. I always love the basics. Linux is good. Python is good. Especially Python when it comes to building projects and stuff like that. Yeah, really good. That was wild, and the phone was created for criminals. Exactly. But it's funny though, it's funny what happens, right? So they create an app and they do it and they start targeting criminals, but then eventually what happens is they run into the problem of, when do I stop a crime? How often can I stop a crime, right? Because if I'm catching them every time, that's going to let them know, hey, something's going on. Is it this app? Is it da-da-da-da? So they're letting certain criminal activity escape. Isn't that crazy? Right? And then even the app itself, it's hard to control who downloads this app, right? So maybe they're getting information on civilians as well, right? Or phones are always listening, or people are always talking about other people through those apps as well. So they're gathering a ton of information, or at least they were before they shut down or whatever. So, all right, is the hacker news popular? Is the hacker news popular? I don't know what that question means. I'm a hacker. Technically, I'm under offensive security. When I say hackers, for people who, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. So I say hacker to just capture everything. But if you know, then I'm under offensive security. And under offensive security, I fall under penetration testing. Before, back in the day, I fell under red teaming. And I'm also trying to do a little bit of bug bounty as well. a way to build up my skill sets even more and bring in some additional income. But is the Hacker News popular? I'm a hacker. I think it's a popular space, but it's not there could be more people in the space. But the reason why it's probably not is because it is so technical. It is, I have to learn about so many different domains. It makes no sense. I have to understand networking. I have to understand how web applications are built because I'm breaking web applications. I have to understand how API calls are being made, the background frameworks that are being used because I'm hacking against those systems. I have to understand what's going on in AI, how my prompts are being perceived and what's happening on the back end because I'm hacking into that as well. You have to understand so much on a technical level. And don't get me wrong, it's that you can start off and target just one thing and build up from there. Like, there's definitely a place where you can build. It's not overwhelming, but to be good, you gotta learn a lot. All right, let's see. I followed a tutorial for a very basic short racing game in Python 3 years ago, but forgot. I'm trying to re-download Visual Code Studio. So the cool thing about Python is that Python has its own framework. You got Jupyter Notebooks, you got VS Code. I use Code a lot, which is the Visual Studios program or a framework, I believe, but it's more lightweight. And Python also comes automatically downloaded on certain operating systems. So one of the operating systems I'm going to be showing you guys how to download on the YouTube channel is going to be Kali Linux. It's more of an offensive security operating system versus something like Ubuntu or something different, CentOS or Debian, whatever. But it comes with Kali, or it comes with Python on it already installed. I'm old school, man. You can catch me coding in a text editor, to be honest. But the frameworks are really good though because they help you out. So what's up? Give away an Apple gift card. Are you saying that you want me to give away an Apple gift card or you gave an Apple gift card away? I'm a little, I don't know how TikTok works. So I'm sorry. But yeah, yo, these were some great questions and hopefully I can upload these on my live. No, give it away. You want me to give it away. So I am giving away something. At the end of this course, my students who are in the cybersecurity 101 course, in my second lecture, I posted how you can enter an opportunity to win a voucher to take a certification up to $600. It is going to be a competition amongst my students. And I told them in that second lecture how to go about doing that. So if you're interested and you want to participate, the information is found in that second lecture and people have already started participating. I'm already keeping tabs on who's doing well, who's ahead, etc. And of course, that's going to end when this course ends in early March. So there will be a voucher giveaway up to the value of $600. So you will have that, no worries. We are getting close in time. We got about 10 minutes left. These have been some great questions. If you would you agree to start with SOC before going into hacking? Not really. You can. I've seen people go that route. I think I'm of the mindset now, especially now that I know more about bug bounty. I believe that if you want to start hacking, you can start hacking, right? And that's why my hacking specifically, I love. Cybersecurity, I love, and hacking falls under that. But that's why I love it, right? Because let's say you're in college, you're a sophomore, and you know that you need experience that you can throw on your resume. Join a bug bounty. Get the bug bounty book, right? Learn about what bug bounties are. Watch Nahamsec. I hope I'm saying that right. Off of YouTube, NAHAMSEC, right? Go subscribe to his channel because he's a bug bounty and he's a big time bug bounty. Like he's pulling in, over the course of his career, he's pulled in $1 million or $2 million, right? So start doing bug bounty programs, get a bug bounty book, subscribe to a bug bountier who's really good, who's made money in that field, NAHEMSEC, Nahamsec, on YouTube. But start doing bug bounties, and then once you found a bug, whether it's paid or not paid, and you push that report out, you can throw that on your resume. That is experience. Because in order to do bug bounties, you have to be using a tool set, right? You're probably going to be using Burp Suite. You're probably going to be using Postman or Insomnia or Thunder Client. You're probably going to be using like modules within Burp Suite, like Repeater or Intruder. You're going to be using tools like Nmap or to get some basic scans off. If you really want to set up a good bug bounty lab, then you're probably going to do that in a cloud environment. So now you're touching cloud spaces. Man, if you want to start off in hacking, you can just start off in hacking. Now, will you be getting paid? No, but if you're building up experience, that's really the only thing that matters. And if you find a bug, you get paid. I've seen bug values as little as $300 payouts to as much as $10,000 payouts, and some even more. But I'm only talking about what I've seen personally from people that I know. But the people that I don't know personally, like I've seen people turn in $30,000, $40,000 bug bounties, and it takes a while to get to that skill set, to that level. But to answer your question, would you start in a SOC before going to hacking? If the goal is to hack, you don't have to start in a SOC in order to do that. Now, you do have benefits from coming from a hack or from coming from a SOC, and the main benefit is an analyst's job is to defend against what a penetration tester is doing. So as a penetration tester or a red team or offensive security, if you know what the analysts are looking for, then you also probably have a good understanding on how to avoid them. That's good information to have, right? But if you just want to get started, just get started. It's easy. I can show you NahamSec real quick. Let me flip my screen. Flip camera. NahamSec. Most vulnerable vulnerabilities in 2025. And that's how you spell his name. Just to zoom in on that, right? This guy has collected over $1 million in bounties alone, working by himself and with other people as well. If you want to get started hacking, you can just start hacking, right? You can just start it. I follow him on X. That's crazy. Yeah, you have a lot of cybersecurity people who post on X, historically on Twitter. I've kind of navigated away from X, but I follow a lot of different good people that just explain the field so well. And I think that's also a part of one of the reasons I wanted to like create content in this as well, because since I'm coming from, I wanted to relay more of a beginner's experience on how to enter the field, how to get started, etc. Pretty young, I'm 29, so I think I can relate to a lot of people who are coming in just fresh off the bat. What are good sources to keep up with cybersecurity news? All right, so here's a platform that I use a lot. Actually, let me see if I got any emails from them real quick so I can show you. I get notifications from them all the time on what's going on in the cybersecurity field. Let's see. Yep. There we go. Let me flip the screen one more time. So there's this, and it's gonna show you. There we go. It's called Medium Daily Digest. Now, people are talking about a lot more on Medium than just like, cybersecurity stuff. But for me, I subscribe to a lot of cybersecurity bug bounty knowledge. I want to know what's being pushed out, right? So secondary context leads to company takeover, right? People will post all of the details on some of the bugs that they found, the technical details. That way you can follow along and maybe re-implement it in your own network, right? To try to learn a little bit more about it. So Medium is definitely my main source of getting information when it comes to the cybersecurity space, right? I just download or subscribe to their channel. They push me out emails. And how important is GitHub in the field? You're coming with some great questions. This is going to be a good video. How important is GitHub in the field? Well, hopefully people find it good. Hopefully they don't think I'm rambling. If I'm doing a good job answering your questions, can you let me know? Can you give me like a thumbs up or something like, yeah, this is actually helpful? Or maybe it would help if I reframe some things that I say. GitHub, very important in the field. Every company that is, great. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you for letting me know. sometimes I'm self-conscious about that. Every company, every software company in the field is going to have some type of GitHub page. Some of them are implementing Copilot. Some of them are a little bit slower about that because it has AI in it, AI generating as well. They're a little bit more cautious about who has access to their data. But GitHub is going to be in most technological companies, just period. So understanding how GitHub works is going to benefit you for the most part in the cybersecurity space, no matter what you want to do. On my side of the house, GitHub benefits me because from a hacker's perspective, sometimes people post sensitive information on their GitHub that they shouldn't. And now I can run certain queries looking for certain bits of information. And hopefully I can pull that out and start targeting networks, web applications within my company that I have full permission to do. Don't go to random GitHub repositories and start trying to like pull information and start hacking people. Not allowed. GitHub is also a very important place if you're creating your own projects, especially if they're code based in some type of way, right? You're coding up some type of project, and having a repository to point to that and post that on your resume or something like that. Oh, it does wonders. So GitHub is definitely big. Yeah, great questions are being asked here. Yes. So struggling as a beginner is not uncommon. Don't feel as if you're the only one who struggles, man. I was in the cybersecurity space for 3 years. I was working for 3 years. And at the end of my 3rd year, I had imposter syndrome and I had burnout at the same time. It was bad. It was bad. But it's funny though, because like at that point in time, I got my bachelor's in computer science, my master's in cybersecurity, 3-4 years worth of experience, and I'm facing imposter syndrome, right? I don't feel like I'm good enough. I feel like all this information is just too much. I don't feel like I'm keeping up. So it's not just you. People who are in this space and who have years of experience and accolades, etc., they feel the exact same way. It's not uncommon. There are some things that you can do to help you out with that feeling. And I do want to talk about that a little bit more in a different session. So I'm making a mental note to come back to that because it's definitely not you. Will I show you how to set up a home lab? Yes. Next week, we're going to be downloading some virtualization tools. I'm going to show the free and the non-free side, right? So you got VirtualBox and you got VMware, and you probably got a couple of other virtualization software out there as well. But from there, we're going to be setting up a mini lab, and there are tutorials online that you can use, that you can find to use and do that. I'm going to be showing you directly so that way you can have that knowledge of level of access. And then in that mini lab, we're going to be using that in some of the assignments or some of the class-based settings that I create. So basically you can point to it. If I'm telling you to try out this tool, you can try out that tool and go from there. So yeah, we'll be helping you. That content will be on my YouTube because it's longer and it's more technical, and I can't post that here on TikTok because TikTok has its time limit, right? So make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube, JAYBYTEBANK, all one word, and that can be found in my bio. I'm doing the CompTIA Security Plus. What would be the best entry-level jobs to apply for? The Security Plus is like a high school degree. I'm not knocking that because it's very well known. And I say it's like a high school degree in the sense of saying that the Security Plus is a certification that you are expected to have on your resume. So when it comes to entry-level jobs that you should apply for, that's going to be based on what exactly you want to do within the field. So in my very first lecture, I described cybersecurity as an umbrella term, and then I described some of the. I'm getting a puzzle piece. What's that? That was weird. So in my first lecture, I described cybersecurity as an umbrella term, and I also described professions within cybersecurity. I gave a brief synopsis of some of the roles that I've seen and came across. And then I've encouraged you to go find other roles as well, how to find them, what to look for, etc. Make sure you go do that. And then in those roles, try to figure out if there is a good beginner level entry role for you to look at to enter that, right? So like if you want to be an analyst, then they have beginner level, entry level roles for analysts. And I can tell you the tool sets that you're probably going to be using, like Kibana, Elkstash, Linux, being familiar with platforms like that, right? I can tell you a lot about that. I was an analyst for like a brief period of time. But bottom line, entry-level jobs, it's going to depend on the type of career that you see setting up for yourself. So the first question you have to ask is, what roles are you truly interested in? And then work your way backwards. If that's something that you want to see, I can definitely create a course or create a lecture on that as well and show what that looks like to give you more of a visual representation of what I'm talking about. Will we need more than one monitor? Hey man, in the cybersecurity space, the more monitors, the better. The bigger the monitors, the better. I have more. I'm gonna show you my setup real quick. Let me see if I could. Let's see what I could do for you. I don't joke about monitors, especially in a. I work remotely, so I need my monitors. So let me show you what I'm working with real quick. Now, do you need more than one monitor? No. Is it nice to have more than one monitor? Abso-freaking-lutely. So what you're looking at is my little home setup, right? So I'm going to pop this off. This is my base laptop. And then I have two little spriggets, right? So that's one monitor that I can pop onto the top. And then this one isn't set up, but that's the second monitor that I can pop on to the side of that as well. So I have a 3 little configuration style hook style setup. I need it. When I say I need it, I mean I need it. Like on the bottom, I'll have my virtualization software. On the top, I'll have my research. On the side, I'll have some music playing. Like I need it all. The more monitors, the better for me. All right, let's see. But it's not something that you need, but very, very soon, you either a bigger monitor or more. As a hacker, do you work from home, or is that field a lot of remote, or do you go on site to do pen testing? You know, I feel like I'm getting exposed in these questions because like I'll read them and then you guys will see that my reading skills are apparently horrible the way I be stuttering. But I work from home. My job before this, I was working hybrid, mostly home. And then my job before that, I was working in office until COVID hit, and then it was remote for like the next 2.5 years. Since I started working remote during that time period, I've made it my mission to stay remote, to be honest with you. Which is kind of why I hate that Amazon return to office thing, because eventually it would be cool to work for them, but will I go to an office? Maybe. Like maybe I could see myself living in Atlanta, you know. It's about 3.5 hours away from me. I live in Huntsville. Maybe I could see myself living in Atlanta, maybe. But I work remote fully. And there's a lot of jobs in the cybersecurity space that are remote, but there are a ton of jobs in the hacking space that are remote. There are some that require you to be on site, especially if you go the government route, because their customers that they're interacting with, they have clearances and stuff like that. That information is classified and you can't access it remotely. Completely get that. But yeah, I work remote. Would you have recommended entry-level jobs or pen testers focusing on the medical field? Would you have any recommended entry-level jobs for pen testers focusing on the medical field? No jobs in particular that I have that I would recommend. It's funny that you bring up the medical field, because when I was a civilian working for the government, a government civilian, as a red teamer / penetration tester, can I say that? Yeah. I'm sorry, I have to, yeah, because that's not giving away. Okay, cool. So one of the industries that I worked in, I was a penetration tester and red teamer, but we were operating within the healthcare field, working hand in hand together with hospitals to test their networks. And hospitals, all hospitals across the board, need IT, right? Like they have their networks that need to be set up. Those machines need to talk to each other, etc. So they do have a team, and a part of those teams might be penetration testing, assessments, and things of that nature, just to find out where they're vulnerable at. I'm sorry if that question seems like I'm being a little bit, I don't know what jobs particularly target hospitals or in the healthcare field, but healthcare industry, they have an IT team, a cyber team, etc. So that's there. You can target those particular healthcare companies if you want. And the only reason I'm being a little bit more sensitive about what I'm talking about is because, again, that was government work, and I'm not trying to have men in suits knocking on my door talking about something. Oh, you gave out information. I'm not trying to do that. Cool, I have a monitor hookup. Great. Let's see. I have a Mac, but I've always been a Windows guy, but I like a Mac. I like a Mac. I've worked with Macs now, and I like a Mac. Ever had a job you had to travel and they pay to relocate you? I've had a job I've traveled for pretty much all of my jobs. Less in the role that I'm currently in now. Like I'll probably travel once or twice a year in this role. For all of those roles, they pay you to travel. If you're working government, oh my God, if you're working government, you get untaxed money to travel. What do I mean by that? They give you per diem. Per diem is they'll give you a subset amount to spend, let's say $100, $200 a day. That's going to be based on the location. One time I flew out to Hawaii. I can say that. One time I went out to Hawaii, got paid to go out to Hawaii for about a week or two or something like that for an assessment. I was getting like $100, $200 a day just by being in Hawaii. They give you that money so that way you can afford food and everything like that. So you can use that money for food. But the way the government does it is you handle your food, your meals and incidentals. You handle that some government programs. You handle that with your own card, your own credit card, and then they reimburse you. So let's say they're giving you $100 to use for food and everything like that. They're just giving you $100. So if you spent $30 that day, you made $70, and they're going to give you that money, and it's untaxed. Every time I've gotten it, it's been untaxed. It's been great. So yes, I travel. It's great. No, thank you. I'll be getting my BA in June, waiting to start and look around. How long did it take you to fully get to grips with the cybersecurity? A long time. I was going on year 4 and I still had imposter syndrome. And then I started doing interviews when I started I wanted to switch jobs. So I started doing interviews and I was doing really well in those interviews. So that actually helped cure up a lot of my imposter syndrome. But yeah, cybersecurity, especially in a hacking space, it's a lot of information. You're going to fail a lot. You got to get used to failure. You got to fail fast. You got to fail forward. You can't let those tiny failures hold you up. You can only learn from them and go. Learn from them and go. Don't let it sit on your heart too heavy. What part of the cybersecurity umbrella pays the most? I don't know. I didn't know sales engineers get paid. They are making bank apparently. And it's funny because sales is one of those positions based on a couple of people that I talked to that that making bank part is heavily dependent on the actual individual, right? So you could get somebody that's making $500 a year and the rest of their coworkers are making 130, 200, right? Because they're not performing on the same level. So what up? But but the fact that there are people in sales at all making around 500, 600, those are crazy numbers. For me personally, as a hacker, or a penetration tester, to get you more specifics on the specific role, as a red teamer penetration tester, I've easily seen numbers go all the way up to 200s to 250s. And if you want to target the big tech companies like Amazon, Meta, and Nvidia, etc., that number just goes up 300, 400, you name it, right? Application security is another good one. That's another good one. That pays a lot. SOC analysts can get up there as well. Surprising. So government risk compliance and auditing, GRC, government, whatever. Those roles can get up there as well. I'm not sure exactly how. I don't know where their ceiling is at, but I've easily heard like 120, 130 and very well affordable places. It's not like you got to be in California to go do this work. Would you say to focus more on building your resume with projects or working toward certifications? Both. The certifications you are learning should help you with your projects. And say, for example, you're taking the Network Plus, right? And it's teaching you how networks are operating on a fundamental level. That's a good spot. Once you learn a certain amount of information, that's a good place to stop, do some research on the tools that are out there in regards to like networking, etc. And then think, what kind of tool can I create? It doesn't have to be a big tool. It doesn't have to be something great and grandiose, like some grand project, right? But what can I create to add to this space that focuses on what I've been learning around this whole time period, right? Take 2, 3, 4 weeks to do that, and then get back to studying for your certification. And doing those two things hand in hand is going to help you. So it's not an either or thing. Do both. Other than the network and security plus, what other jobs would help you get a job quickly? So, when it comes to certifications, I'm very picky on the ones that I suggest because like the certification you get is telling of the type of job that you want, right? So I don't want to tell you to, oh yeah, get a RHCSA, Red Hat Cyber Systems Administrator, and you're trying to do something completely different, right? You're trying to do something, and you're trying to do DevSecOps. So I don't want to tell you to get a certification that doesn't match your career path. So find a career path that you want to go in first and then focus on what certifications will help you get there. But the Network Security Plus, very well known. If you want to go the analyst route, you can get a Splunk certification as well. If you want to be just general, well-grounded, you can get some basic cloud certifications, specifying usually probably AWS and Azure are going to be like the two biggest slices. You got Google GCP in there as well, right? So you can get some basic cloud certifications as well if you just want to be well-rounded. But when it comes to getting these certifications, I call it alphabet soup. I hate when you go on LinkedIn and you see somebody's name and it's just a slew of certifications and they have broad knowledge in everywhere, but no in-depth knowledge, right? Like you can't go in depth with them about any particular conversation. So when you're getting certifications, get them in such a way that they reflect your career path, so that way it actually helps you and you're using those skill sets on a good basis. All right. Yeah, no problem at all. No problem at all. No problem at all. Splunk cert for SOC analyst, right? Yeah, Splunk and yeah. I'm on boot camp and it's finishing soon, but still feel lost. Like I said, man, I had a real job. I was working a real job doing real things for 3 years with a master's and a bachelor's, and I still felt lost. Like, like you're gonna have that feeling. Cybersecurity is overwhelming, and that's actually a good feeling. You never want to feel like, oh, I know everything. The people that I've talked to in cybersecurity, the ones who talk about, oh, I know everything in cybersecurity, they don't know. I'm not gonna cuss because I want to be able to upload this video. But if you're confident, it's because you are unaware of something that you don't know. And working in cybersecurity, you are very aware of how much you don't know. So let that be a means of mechanisms to keep you humble, but don't let that be a means of mechanisms to make you feel as if you don't know anything, because I guarantee you know something. Which AWS sort? I'm assuming this goes hand in hand with that other question of what beginner level certs I would get to be well-rounded to get a job fast. Just the beginning one would be okay, the AWS practitioner. And then you have the solutions architect as well, which is the next step above it. So if you want to go in cloud related, those two hand in hand would do good, specifically if the people that you're working with are reliant on AWS heavily, because again, there are other cloud platforms. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, no problem at all. Dang, that's scary. 3 years. Yeah. I was in my career, my profession. I was doing my thing for 3 years and I still had imposter syndrome. You hear stories like that all the time. And I think I was going through imposter syndrome and burnout. And here's the skinny on that. Peep this. A part of my journey in cybersecurity, especially when it comes, I'm a hacker, right? I'm a penetration tester. One of the certifications that we have to get, one of the certifications that's popular in my field is called the Offensive Security Certified Professional, right? So I took that exam 3 times. It's a 48-hour exam. The first 24 hours, you're hacking 5 different boxes. The next 24 hours, you're creating a big report, like 100+ pages report, right? So the first time I took that, I failed it. The second time I took it, I failed it. I can give myself a little bit of grace there because I was sick and I couldn't reschedule my dates because I had ran out of rescheduling, whatever. So that was on me. I was sick. That was neither here nor there. But those failures and the constant failures that you're going to have in cybersecurity, like it was weighing heavy on me because I'm used to being good at things. So it was just, I was questioning, hey, am I as good as I'm doing well in performance management? Like my boss is telling me I'm doing a good job. My coworkers are telling me I'm doing a good job. But why the crap can I pass this cert and other certs like it, right? So I felt that heavy on me and I let that rest a little bit too heavy on me. And you'll find that a lot within this field. Also, would you ever consider hosting office hours through Zoom? We can all ask questions. So I've actually talked to a lot of people on here through Zoom. I prefer talking over texting because it's just a little bit harder. So I'm setting up office hours officially for this course. I'm doing that this weekend, so no worries. That's going to be coming soon. My problem is how to apply what I'm learning to work on my skills, if that makes sense. The home lab that I'm creating for you guys that we're gonna go about is gonna be it's gonna be helpful to applying those labs. 48 hours, can you sleep? Yeah. So the first 24 you have 24 hours to hack into 5 boxes, right? So if you hack into those boxes within the first 5 hours, you're done, right? You can stop. If it takes you all 24 hours, then it takes you all 24 hours. And you can take breaks in between as well. It's monitored, so the person watching you just gotta tell them, hey, I'm taking a break. Sometimes people take sleep breaks because, you know, after doing an exam for a while, you're losing your sense of reality. So sometimes you need to step away, and you can do that in the exam itself. But man, are you allowed to use Mmap to see the vulnerabilities? Yes, there are certain tools that you can't use within the OSCP. Like they don't want you to use SQL Map. They don't want you to use the paid version of Metasploit. They don't want you to use a couple of other things, but you are going to be using, you're definitely going to be using Mmap for sure. Mmap, Burp Suite, some directory busting tools like GoBuster, FFUZZ, Fuzz, WFuzz, a lot of really niche tools, especially Mimikatz when it comes to like getting on the Active Directory side of the house. You're going to use some pivoting tools to forward traffic so that way you can target more so internal computers and things on the network. You're going to be using a lot. But guys and women, it is 8:17. I can give you one more question if you have it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cut this off because I do have a day job to get to. Do you have any last minute questions? You guys have been really awesome to talk to. It's cool to see so many people interested in the field. I love it. I'm hoping that you're going to get a lot of value from this class. I really hope so. So if you haven't already watched those first 2 lectures, go do it, because again, I'm giving away a free voucher, and how at the end of this course, I'm giving away a free voucher, and how you can start participating in that is going to be recorded in that second lecture. So make sure you catch that. The YouTube is JayByteBank, all one word, JayByteBank. You can find that in my profile. Any groups, last minute question, any groups you can advise on joining? Blacks in Cyber, BIC, they have a mentorship thing. I was a mentor for Blacks in Cyber last year. They match you up with a professional in the cybersecurity space that's doing the job that you want to do, and that person can be your mentor for about a 3 to 4 month time period. Really great place to start if you have no idea where to go. That's all I got for you all today. Y'all can catch this live stream on YouTube. Hopefully I can end that right. But yeah, see you all later. It's free. Blacks in Cyber is free. All right. Later, y'all.